So when we've been invited to create or don't expect the space that we've landed in, we need to be showing up with good housekeeping energy. In today's sisterhood session, that's what I'm bringing you. So I have two promises that I want you to continue to make that bring you that good housekeeping energy to walk through all the things. First, what is housekeeping energy? I have a little story for you. So, last week I hosted what I usually host every month, and that is the Anchored Woman Experience. And a lot of these women are meeting me for the first time. They're coming into this space, and I want it to be safe for them, and I want it to be open, and I want them to see that they're not alone. So I'm doing this in an open Zoom room where they can see the other participants. My video is pinned, and we get down to business. But because this is an advertised thing, right? This is something that I'm inviting people I don't know into this space. I need to have some protections around this, some good housekeeping around it. And as I came into this session, letting people in the room, it's just me. I'm here to have created this space for these ladies, and I want to show up in a way that is professional and yet human. So I'm letting in these women in the Zoom. If you've been a host of a Zoom, you're admitting people in. And I am doing regular tech housekeeping, right? So I'm like, check in on the chat, do the thing. I'm letting people in. Let's get some energy flowing in these first couple minutes. And this tech thing that, as the housekeeper, it was just a tech thing. But for the host, from behind the scenes, it was someone trying to take over my meeting. Period, point blank. We're in the world we live in. But it's that housekeeping energy that did not let me get my feathers ruffled or worry about it or be concerned. I just kept that good housekeeping energy that said, hey, if anything is ending up in the chat that shouldn't be, or if you're seeing anything that I'm not, please let me know, because this is an open space, but this is also a safe space, right? So that kind of housekeeping energy, that is something that we can take into, like I said, the spaces that you're invited into, the spaces that you create, and the spaces that you just get dropped into, the chaos, the things that you don't expect. But we can still go in with that good housekeeping energy that says, okay, moving on. We're going to address this in a way that is professional and quiet, and we're going to keep going, right? If something had come up in the chat that said, hey, so and so is being inappropriate, again, it's because the world we live in, that's not a space that I allow. I would have gone in and deleted the next person, right? That something popped up. I also shared with the people as I'm coming in, again, that housekeeping energy that I want you to carry as well. I let them know, 10 or 15 minutes into this session, we are not going to be letting anybody else in, right? And so I let that be very clear. And that's that good housekeeping energy that I want for you. Okay. The two promises. We're going to pause here and we'll get back to those in a moment. All right. So the two promises, super simple. Bear with me here. The promise you made to yourself and the promise you made to them. Those are the two promises in keeping that housekeeping energy that get you from the welcome to the goodbye, right? From the yes to the here's your bill. Um, all that in between is based off of those two promises. The promise you made to yourself and the promise you made to them. And this is something before we enter in, we are invited to something. We're saying yes or no. We're deciding how that's going to look or feel to us when we arrive. We create something. We invite people to something like the space inside of the Anchored Woman Experience last week, And then also, sometimes we get thrown into the middle. Where do those promises come from? Those promises are made way beforehand when we decide who it is that we are, what we do, and how we do it. Those are things that we work on inside of either identity-based planning or full-on anchored woman retreat, where we redefine and declare and decide who it is that we are, what we do, and how we do it, right? So we're going in with that housekeeping energy that says we're clear, we're authentic, we're going to just breathe through this thing and come out on the other side because we're human. We're acknowledging our humanness. Again, something we do in grace statements, like we did last week. But it's those two promises that bring that housekeeping energy forward so that everyone around you, to them, it looks like you planned it this way. Okay. And when you leave that thing, that session, that space, who you take with you in that yourself, the who inside yourself that you take with yourself into the next thing is much more calm, is much more anchored, is much more grounded because before she even went into the thing, she decided. So that housekeeping energy is designed to carry us through the thing and then into the next. It's foundational. It's something we decide long before we enter in. And it's very clear. This is nothing against anybody or anything, but we know who doesn't come in with housekeeping energy. Those kinds of things, they might frazzle you. They might throw you off kilter, but it's that recentering and that grounding and that next step. That's housekeeping energy. That's, I made this promise energy. And that's what I want for you, friend, is to find that space of anchoring that says, yes, I've got this. Next. That's housekeeping energy. So, as we go into our discussion, or if you're dropping something in the comments, it's going to be, where is my housekeeping energy needing a boost? Where does it leave me feeling not as good as I could? Where could housekeeping energy serve me? Maybe this session opened up something in you and you're like, wait a second, I could really use housekeeping energy over here, or in this thing, or in this yes, or in this unexpected moment that happened last week. That's probably going to happen again. How can I bring housekeeping energy into that thing? All right. I love bringing these types of conversations that make you stop and say, wait a second, what is Shayna talking about? Because it's real and we get to experience it in our way as individuals from our individual perspectives. And so if you're needing foundational work, I'm curious also what that question is, or the answer is to that question. Come join us in sisterhood, have these conversations, build up that housekeeping energy for yourself. Jump into our next retreat, jump into a planning session, the Anchored Woman Experience, whatever is coming up next for you. Check my calendar, check the thing, drop a link, a comment, wherever you find this. Let's go build some housekeeping energy because more of that is needed in this world than probably ever before. So with that, we'll talk soon and let's get back to work.